You don't have a discipline problem. You don't have a motivation problem. You don't even have a clarity problem. You have an identity problem. And until that changes, nothing truly changes. Vedant sat quietly, not searching, not questioning, just observing. Because now he had seen something. He was aware. He had noticed avoidance. He had understood fear. He had even started deciding. And yet, something still felt incomplete. Because change was not consistent. Some days he acted. Some days he didn't. Some days he felt clear. Some days he felt lost again. And that created confusion. Not about what to do, but about why it was not lasting. So he asked, if I understand everything, then why doesn't it stay? The voice responded slowly. Because understanding changes the mind, but identity controls behavior. Vedant paused, because that was deeper. What do you mean? He asked. The voice continued. You don't act based on what you know. You act based on who you believe you are. That shifted everything. Because now, the problem was not action. The problem was identity. If you see yourself as someone lazy, you will find ways to avoid work. If you see yourself as someone confused, you will find reasons to delay decisions. If you see yourself as someone who overthinks, you will keep overthinking. Not because you have to, but because it matches your identity. And identity is powerful because it feels like truth, even when it is just a belief. Vedant leaned back because now he could see it. Every time he said, I am like this, he was not describing himself. He was defining himself. And once defined, the mind tries to stay consistent because consistency feels safe, even if it keeps you stuck. The voice spoke again. You don't need more action. You need a new identity. Vedant felt that deeply because now everything made sense. He was trying to act differently while still believing he was the same person. And that creates conflict because your actions and your identity must align. Otherwise, the identity wins. Always. He closed his eyes and asked slowly, then how do I change my identity? The voice didn't rush because this question was not simple. And then it answered, not by saying it, by proving it. Vedant opened his eyes because that was real. You don't become confident by repeating, I am confident. You become confident by acting in ways that prove it. Again and again and again. Until the mind accepts it. Not as motivation, but as identity. And that is where most people stop. They try once, maybe twice. And when it feels uncomfortable, they go back. Back to the old identity. Because it feels familiar, predictable, safe, even if it limits them. But change requires something different. Repetition. Not perfect, not consistent, but repeated. Because repetition creates belief. Belief creates identity. identity creates behavior, and behavior creates life. Vedant picked up his pen and wrote one line. I am not trying to change my actions. I am changing who I believe I am. And that moment felt different. Because now he was not forcing behavior. He was shaping identity. Slowly, consciously, powerfully. And maybe that is the truth. You don't rise to your goals. You fall to your identity. So if you want to change your life, don't start with action. Start with identity. And then prove it. One small step at a time until it becomes you.